So I recently purchased this software from Prime Markets. It's a terminal, it's a trading terminal that you can use to analyze data. And I think this, in my opinion, is the best budget tool. And I use that term budget kind of loosely because it's not that cheap. It's $150 a month. But for what it offers, in my opinion, this is a budget tool. Like, it's completely amazing. So I'll just be giving a basic overview of this tool and what I have been using it for so far. I won't cover all of the features because there's just a lot. I'll just cover what I have been using so far. So I have been using this tool for only a day. I purchased this yesterday and I am already extremely comfortable with the software. So the learning curve, it's very easy. So right here we have the different templates, and I'll be going through the templates that I use. These are templates that I have made and I use so far. So it's not all of the features of the software, it's just what I use, right? So we're currently on the seasonality tab, right? And as the name suggests, you use this to analyze seasonal patterns among currencies or commodities or equities, right? So the first widget we have here is just an overview chart showing price action. That's not much, but right here we have a heat map showing the seasonal tendencies for the past 4 years, right? So I'm not the biggest fan of using seasonality to trade currencies because I believe those are more aligned with what's happening now in the economy and other fundamentals, but you can probably catch patterns with seasonality using currencies. But I use it more for commodities like oil, for example. We can analyze the seasonality for oil here, and we can see that in January and February oil is absolute, it's amazing, it's the best performing months. And months like months like August and November, which has an average of minus 10% return, is bad months. So you can use these to analyze data for commodities. You can do the same for gold, so I use seasonality mostly for oil, gold, and Nasdaq, but you can look at it from currencies as you may be able to see a few patterns, right? Next, we have seasonality performance on an average basis, right? So I'll remove these. So we have the 5-year, 10-year, and 15-year average, and this is simply just the price action of the dollar yen over 5 years, 10 years, and 15 years average. So this is the average price movement, and you can see patterns here, like in late October up to December, the dollar outperforms the yen and we see a rise in dollar. So this is a trend right here that you can look at, and you can use it with this to get whatever you want, right? And next we have the future. So this is the yen index. So this is different from the forex pair, which is dollar yen. This is the yen index. So you can look at the yen index futures to see the same thing: 5-year, 10-year, and 15-year seasonality price action. So yeah, that's the seasonality. There's more features, but those are the ones that I focus on for my trading. Next, let's analyze COT data, which is one of my favorite features. So the COT data that I look at is institutional positioning. So I usually use non-commercial, but this software does not have non-commercial. They have dealer, intermediary, institutional, and leverage funds. I find that institutional is the most accurate when it comes down to positioning and forecasting price action. So I stick with institutional, as they're the best at positioning from what I have seen. So the first chart right here, it simply shows the percentage change in the positioning. So when this is going up, it means that institutional traders are building their position. And by the way, we're looking at the dollar index. So since October the 1st, institutional traders have been building their dollar position, right? and you can look at the chart and you can see all these stuff, right? So let's look at when they started to sell. So institutional money started to sell the dollar index from the 2nd of July. And if we look at the trading view chart at the dollar index, 2nd of July. Okay, so from the 2nd of July, right here, this is where institutional money started to sell, right? So the market basically topped out here and they started to sell aggressively. And if you look at the charts, the markets have been going down, right? And where did they bottom out? They stopped selling on October the 1st, right? 2024, October the 1st. If we look at October the 1st, where they started buying, which is right here, what happened? The market started going up. So these guys, they are good. You can use them as an indicator, watch their positioning to see what's happening. So right now, we could be forming a top. I don't know. You have to look at the fundamentals alongside this to see if this is a top at the moment. So yeah, you can look at these stuff to really get insight into how institutional money is positioning. And next you have open interest, and you use this alongside this. I won't explain all of this because it will take too long, but use open interest in combination with the positioning to get an idea of basically how much liquidity is entering the market. That's kind of how I use it. And then you have basically this and this, but in table format with just a bit more detail. So yeah, that's this right here. So it's showing you for the dollar, asset managers, they removed 3,000 longs and but they only remove 97 shorts. So this shows that they're actually more short than they are long. So yeah, and you can see this here. So the net change went down. So that's COT data. That's how I'm planning to use this, and this is absolutely amazing. I have been using COT data to analyze markets for some time, and I have never used anything that presented the data this well. So this right here is, if this was the only feature I was paying for, I would still purchase this software. Just this feature alone, I'd pay $150 a month for. So that's COT data. Next, we look at research. Oh my God, this tab right here. Research is, let me not talk too much. So on this section right here, we have the something called the smart bias, which is it's amazing. Most of these things I used to do manually. I'll show you this right here. So the smart bias, it basically looks at fundamental data and then decides if it's bullish, neutral, or bearish, or very bearish. And I actually did that manually, and I'll show you this here. So this is something in Notion that I had to do manually. So say I'm looking at US economic data, right? I used to manually input all of these stuff: NFP, JOLTS, unemployment rate, CPI, PCE, PMI, and all retail sales and all this stuff. And then I formulate an opinion if the US is bullish or bearish. Now, with this software, it basically does all of that for me. So if you look at fundamental data, we can see that economic growth, bullish; rising prices, bullish; consumer confidence, it's bearish; factory, new homes started, building permits, all of this is bullish, right? And I don't need to manually enter all that stuff in here because this does everything for me, right? Next, you have bank research, which is this section right here, which I'll get into soon. But you have the different banks and their positioning on the dollar. So you can see that Goldman Sachs is bullish, MUFG is bullish, UniCredit is bearish, Citibank, HSBC, Deutsche Bank, they're all bullish, right? And you can see that for banks, it's bullish. hedge fund positioning, bullish, retail positioning, bullish. So you want to do the opposite of retail positioning. So retail traders are bearish on the dollar at the moment, so you want to be bullish, right? Monetary policy, trend, and everything, right? So this right here, it's a game changer. Again, if this was the only feature this software offered, I'd still pay for the subscription. Getting all of this in just one software is amazing, right? And you have the same thing for the Japanese yen. So you can see that hedge fund positioning is bearish on the yen. We have seasonality is bearish, trend and whatnot. And you have the same for the pound and and Australia and all of this stuff. So you can look at these different countries and see, just basically get a summary of how people are positioning, right? Next, we have research files, right? This is this page right here. And matter of fact, I need to open this tab on a page by itself. So this is research files. This page right here is just, I'm out of words. So you have different banks and institutions that usually publicize documents and views and analysis and forecasts of the markets on their website on a section called Insights. And what this page does, it basically gets all of these insights and they just feed it to you. So you can see insights from the Bank of America, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. So you can just click this PDF. So this is global markets. Let's see, global weekly kickstart from Goldman Sachs. You can just click this research and you can see their opinion, everything they're writing with the charts, what they're looking at, and like this is just incredible, right? So this section right here is absolutely amazing, and I used to have to do this manually as well. So if we go on my Chrome here, I used to have this section called sources, where it has pages like Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, UBS, Charles Schwab, Goldman Sachs, TD Economics, and all that stuff. And I used to go on their page, and because they make this information public, right? So you can go on their page and you can read what they're saying, like what's happening here. But what this does is basically put everything for you in just a single page where you can view everything, right? And even better, they have a save option. So if you're looking at this and you're like, I can't bother to read this right now, you can just sift through and go to your save files. And these are what I have saved that I need to read, right? So the research page it's just this software. If you're a retail trader, this is a must. You cannot be a trader without this. This is absolutely amazing. So let's go over another page, the overview, and this is the last one that I've been working on. So this overview page, I expect it to just give me, as the name suggests, just an overview of the market. So I'm supposed to be able to just look at this page and understand what's happening with positioning. So you have currency strength for the last 7 days, and I only have the ones that I trade visible. So you can see you have euro here, you can make visible, Swiss franc, Canadian dollar, the New Zealand dollar, but I don't trade New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc, and the euro. So I only have the dollar, yen, pound, and the loonie that I trade. And you can see the price action over the past 7 days. And by the way, you can change these stuff. I did not mention that, but you can just click this right here and you can. So if you want to see the price action over the past 30 days, you can add that to your dashboard and you can see how price has been over the past 30 days for these different currencies, right? But I prefer to look at the last 7 days, as I'm more of a short-term trader. I only hold trades for a few days. But yeah, that's this right here. As I said, I'm not finished with this page. I don't know, I'll probably change this out, but this is just kind of like something telling you that, hey, is this pair, which is the dollar yen, is it buy, neutral, or sell? And what this tool does is it gets all the data, everything that's in this software, and it generates an idea of whether the dollar yen is a strong buy or a strong sell, or it's neutral at the moment. At the moment, dollar yen is a buy, right? So this is this right here. And next you have the dumb money index. So as you know, retail traders are infamous for losing money, blowing accounts, and all that stuff. So so you basically want to do the opposite of what retail traders are doing. So you can see that retail traders are very long. The Aussie Swiss franc, they are 90% long. If you are a trader, it would be wise to be short this pair, because retail traders, most of the times, 80% of the times, they lose money. So whatever they're doing, you just do the opposite. Right now, they are very long, the dollar CAD, right? Very short, the dollar CAD. So you would go long, right? And you don't just look at it and do the exact opposite. Obviously, it has to be incorporated in your analysis, right? But it's just an idea. And then we have the COT data table, which I already went through, but as I said, this is just an overview page. I'm still working on it. I'll probably add more stuff to this, but as I said, I only purchased this software yesterday, so I'm still setting it up and organizing it and personalizing it and so forth. But this software right here, man, I'd recommend this tool to anyone, any trader. Matter of fact, you could be an institutional trader. Like, this software right here is golden. This is a must have as a trader, and I love this software so far, and I know for a fact that I will always be using this software because it's just a game changer. So yeah, that's that, man. I hope you enjoy this video. I hope I inspired you to get this software, and yeah, peace.